Cage, big weekend of footy, of course. The finals are on. Wow, what a weekend. The first game of the last game, probably the two best games of the round.
Terrific.
Let's have a look at it. Geelong, of course, down by 4 points to St Kilda. Was it a free, Cage? Did Cam Mooney push James Gwilt in the back?
I reckon he did, given the fact that the umpires, in my opinion, have played that sort of free kick for most of the year. I wasn't at all surprised. The umpire was cool. He just gave the signal in the back. Cam Mooney says he just cost us the game, which I thought was quite funny. Look, I think it was a free kick. Geelong only have themselves to blame. You can't put that down to Geelong losing the game. They did not come to play in the first half. St Kilda were all over them. And St Kilda General, they'll never have a better chance to win their second premiership than they got this year. They've got the week off. They're into the prelim final, and they'll play either the Sydney Swans or the Bulldogs. They'll never have a better chance to win a flag.
Yeah, I'm with you, Cage, and you've umpired a lot. We've all played a lot. If it comes down to the last call of the game, there've probably been a dozen other calls over the course of the game. Could have gone either way. So I think they hurt themselves, although it was a terrific fight back. Rain came down at the start of the third quarter, Cage. You would have thought, well, that's it. Geelong, fantastic.
They played better in the rain.
It's hard against Geelong, isn't it,
Well,
Cage?
it is, and the test now, General, is, you know, can they do it the hard way? Look, no doubt, their best is the best in the competition, but can they produce it? That's the $64,000 question now.
All right, no question about Fremantle and Hawthorn, Cage. So Harvey definitely got it right when he didn't send all the boys down to Tasmania, but 13 new debutants in the final for Fremantle. Everyone thought that'd be Hawthorn's edge.
Yep.
Didn't look that way.
No, Hawthorn, I've got to say, disappointing. They went out without a whimper, Hawthorn, and they'd be disappointed about that. Alistair Clarkson wouldn't be happy, but look, taking nothing away from Freo and full marks to Harvey. I was critical of him, but it's paid dividends. He's got through. He now advances to the next game, but I don't think that they can go much further than this.
All right, McPhee's job on Hodge was magnificent, Cage. I mean,
don't know whether he was 100%.
Yeah, he went in with an injury cloud, didn't he? Now, what about Collingwood and the Bulldogs? Of course, Collingwood 62-point winners. I don't know that anyone was really surprised, Cage, were they?
No, not at all. Look,
maybe the margin, questionably.
Well, maybe, but you take out Adam Cooney, who's a match winner. You take out Dale Morris, arguably one of the best defenders going around. Ryan Griffin was a gutsy performance. Jono wasn't right. They're in trouble, the Bulldogs. I picked them at the start of the year to win the flag. They can't do that. They're gone.
All right, games record holder for the Bulldogs. Jono has announced the smiling assassin. He's retiring, Cage.
Not surprised.
Yeah.
Been a wonderful player, though. In my view, gentlemen, he's really played out of his weight division, playing that key forward for so many years. Been a wonderful player, great example to his teammates, and well, I guess they're playing the emotional card now, the Bulldogs.
Just about to ask you about that one. It might work. All right, Sydney Carlton. Sydney by 5 points. Carlton came back at them in a rush, so
Carlton should have won it.
Able to hold on.
Carlton should have won it. Had they made the most of their opportunities, Carlton would have won that game. They didn't, and you've got to say again, the Sydney Swans under Paul Roos, and Brett Kirk, they just keep finding and finding and finding, and you've got to hand it to them. As I said at the start of the final season, they're the sleepers.
You might be right, Cage. We were surprised, though, Kieran Jack and Judd had sort of almost gone neck and neck in the first half. Then he took Jack off and put O'Keefe on him. Third quarter, Juddy was just unbelievable. I mean, he was responsible for at least 2 goals. He had at least 10 or 12 touches, and you go, he's special, but Sydney had enough.
And Jared Waite running into an open goal should have nailed that. Again, how many times we send that over the years? Size the Crows. Collingwood don't know those goals. You've got to do it, otherwise it'll come back to bite you.
All right, here's the one that could bite, Cage. Geelong, Collingwood, of course. One of them's not going to get to the grand final now after they've probably been the 2 best teams.
If Geelong beat Freo, it'll be Geelong, Collingwood in the prelim.
You couldn't see Geelong not winning, could you, Cage? They got the extra day's rest. Fremantle have got to travel. Everything's against. First time for Fremantle at the MCG this year, Cage.
Now, what does that say to you? What does that say to you?
Says you've got a hell of an advantage if you're playing well.
Well, it says to me that it's not an even playing field. Here we have Fremantle, who have not played at the G all year, are now faced with playing at the G in a cutthroat final. Hey, it's an uneven playing field. It has been for too long.
All right, quickly before we go, Pakistani again, Cage. Now it's even worse on the Sydney Test. Maybe a lazy $3 million they might have made.
Exactly. This is the latest allegations, General, that $3 million allegedly was taken from the Sydney Test match between Pakistan and Australia. It is unbelievable, the accusations that are being made at the moment. cricket's got real problems, I'm telling you.
Well, you know what the trouble with it is?
What's the problem?
Well, you and I didn't get $1.5 million each. That's what the real problem is.
I got $30 for 4 days. That's $2.50 tax.
And dry cleaning?
And then that was $27.50, $7.50 to the late Coloniga, who had North East dry cleaners for dry cleaning my creams and my shirt. I took home $20.
Yeah, you're overpaid.